Good day, Cyprus. It's Andronicos again. Remember to follow me on Facebook, Andronicos CY, or visit my website, andronicos.cy. What I'm now going to discuss is what's called Section 2 and Section 3 of my manifesto, which is made up of 21 points. Section 2 proposes that all members of the European Parliament, including me, take a 10% pay cut. Now, before everybody starts laughing at the very idea and suggests I get psychiatric treatment, there's a sting in the tail. There's an incentive. Now, I've been involved in many, many businesses over the years, either mine or of advised companies, and there's a method that works really good as an incentive, and that is if people agree to a slightly lower salary, and I'm suggesting 10%, upon achieving goals, they could earn a lot more. And what I'm proposing is members of the European Parliament take a 10% pay cut, and within a certain amount of years, even after they've left, if certain metrics, certain objectives have been reached, not only will they get their money back, they'll get a bonus. Now, here's how it will work. If the European Union, if the members of its parliament do a great job and they manage to cut poverty, increase the wealth of the citizens in the European Union, cut down on CO2 emissions and other pre-agreed metrics, what we'll end up with, just like in businesses that do this all over the world, is we will create incentives. Now, you could argue, but it's their job. It is their job, but it's the head of sales' job in a commercial enterprise to do a good job. I am proposing incentive-based bonuses that are fair. And by that I don't mean the bar is set so low that they will automatically get their bonuses. We've got to be reasonable here. So that is my suggestion when I said the one sentence in my manifesto, Section 2, about the 10% pay cut. Think about it. If you want that to happen, if you want me to lay the seeds, please vote for me on June the 9th. Section 3 of my manifesto deals about the unreliable boyfriend and the interfering mother-in-law. Now, I've always got on with my mother-in-laws, but speaking from personal experience from friends, sometimes mother-in-laws do interfere. And also, there are cases where we have unreliable boyfriends. It's an annoying thing when they're not reliable, when they do things that are kind of really, really annoying. So what on earth has that got to do with politics? Well, here's why. In my analogy, the unreliable boyfriend is the members of the Cyprus Parliament, and the interfering mother-in-law are their political parties. Sometimes we agree with them, we get on with them. Sometimes we do not. What I am really, really annoyed about is in other countries, and I'm quite active and have been, and when I've written a letter to a minister or to a member of parliament in at least one other country, I'm not going to name names, I've got a response. In Cyprus, they ignore you. You're nobody. You're a second-class citizen. They're up there, you're down there, not worthy of a response. I call that being unreliable. Another reason I am suggesting we think about this, and I'm asking our parliament to change the way they do things, because they get lots of money from the state to have their own office, their own support staff, is they don't have to answer the emails or the phone calls themselves. They can get their staff to. It's called being engaging with the citizens. I am recommending that, as of now, they actually answer their phone calls and their emails. And that's for the unreliable mother-in-law. What would it be like if your husband or your wife, every time you asked for a decision, they either ignored you or said, I'm just going to check with my mummy because mummy's always right. Vote for me in the upcoming parliamentary elections for Europe as an MEP on June the 9th. And you will be very fortunate. Why? Firstly, I do not have a political party. I am independent, which means every morning in Strasbourg or Brussels, when we're going to have meetings to vote on laws that affect Europe and Cyprus, I'm not going to phone Nicosia and say, oh, what should I do? I'm my own person. And to compound the problem in the European Parliament is we have different sections of political allegiance. I believe there's 8, and there's another group who are independents. I will be in that group as well. So to compound the problem, the other European members of Parliament from Cyprus, there's 6 in total, assuming at least 4 or 5 of them are political party nominated, not only do they have to check and follow instructions from Nicosia, from their political parties, they've got to find out what their particular group in Parliament, whether they're very left, right or central, are going to vote. I'm my own person. By voting for me, you will have a reliable boyfriend and you won't have an interfering mother-in-law. Please vote for me and I will make that happen. And there's one other thing I want to say about our Parliament, which is on February the 29th, as I mentioned in another video, they passed a disgusting law. It absolutely disgusted me. And that is 75% of all Cypriots, because they did not go to university, because they do not have a degree, are now officially second-class citizens. Why? Because they cannot be advisors to our president or any of his ministers. And what makes me really angry is what's the next law they're going to pass to show they're up here above you and we are nobodies? What's the next law they're going to pass to try and prove their superiority? Certainly from the main political parties. Are they going to say, if you're blind and can't see, you have no right to be an advisor to the government? If you're deaf and you can't hear? If you're mute and you can't speak? What else are they going to do? What else are they going to say? I am saying this to you. 75% of my fellow Cypriots, especially women who had children young, they could not go to university, are not second-class citizens. Vote them out of office, is what I say. Vote them out of office, and I'm saying one more thing. Punish them so they don't do things like that anymore. Thank you for listening to me. I am very angry.